Some men can be so ruthless and heartless. Why would you have to wait for your wife to be in a very vulnerable state for you to break her heart and break her down?
Caught my husband cheating.
She's pregnant with your child, for goodness sake. Whether you like her or not, you should be there for your wife. She needs all the support she can get in this pregnant state.
Hey, cheating on your partner is bad, yeah, but cheating on your partner that's about to have your baby, that's wild. That's an astronomical level of disrespect. You don't respect yourself, your child, your partner. You're supposed to be supporting them, not making their life stressful. Idiots. Where the fuck is your morals?
But what did you do? You did otherwise. You went out there to cheat on her.
I remember it felt like my whole world had came to a complete stop. It felt like my whole world had ended. I was pregnant. I had recently moved to a new location. I was in a new city. I was just in a state of shock. And being pregnant, going through infidelity and cheating, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I just remember the whole room closing in on me and how small I felt. It wasn't a good feeling. It just felt like my whole family, everything was just a lie. And I remember questioning my own self-worth. Like, what did I do for my husband to be unfaithful to me at the beginning of our marriage? Something that's supposed to be sacred.
Some men usually say women have fish brain. I strongly disagree with that statement. Over time, a lot of men have proven that they lack reasoning and thinking faculty, or should I say, they are just being wicked and selfish. Here is a story of a man that cheated on his pregnant wife with his colleague. I cheated on my wife while she was pregnant and she won't take me back. I want to start off by saying that I found out that my wife posted to this subreddit and she will no longer speak to me. So I'm here to try and get her to talk to me. I cheated on my wife when she was pregnant twice, and then I did it again stupidly after she gave birth to our son. I was stressed and the co-worker was there. We got talking about life and how hard her divorce was. She's been lonely and I was feeling lonely. My wife was bedridden and I needed someone to talk to because my wife was always asleep. She just wasn't feeling well enough to act like a wife. Act like a wife, you say? My wife won't speak to me or even text me whenever I try to talk about us. She just completely ignores me unless I talk about our son, and all the time she won't even text me. She communicates with me through her mother. Her mother threatened to call the police if I came by anymore, so I have no way to reach her except through phone or me making my case here, and I pleaded with her to just talk to me. Has anyone been in this situation before, and what can I do to make her forgive me? She told me that she doesn't tolerate cheaters, and I had a lapse of judgment and I made a mistake and I want to fix it and work on it. Steph, if you're reading this, I'm so sorry and we do whatever to get you back. I love you. I will buy you whatever. I will never leave the house again. Just come back home and stop the divorce. I won't sign the papers. Interesting. That man is obviously joking. He's saying all these things because he got caught, because the wife knows about his cheating business and all that. He cheated on her not once but twice while she was pregnant, and cheated on her after the wife gave birth. His excuse was the wife was not being a wife. What do you even mean by your wife was not being a wife? She's being a wife because she's pregnant, carrying your child. So you want her to open up her legs for you so you can go in anytime you want. So that is what being a wife means to you. So are you trying to say that your wife being pregnant and carrying your child is not her being a wife? The only time you see your wife being a wife is when you can have access to her body. That's what it means to you as her being a wife. How selfish can he be? This is crazy. So after everything, now you're pleading and promising everything. Why didn't you take a break before you slept with someone else to think about all these things? Why? It's because you've been caught, because your wife now knows what you've done. Now you're here promising heaven and earth, or you're going to stay indoors and all that. Please tell that to the next lady. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this story, and please, if you're yet to subscribe or like this video, take a moment to like and subscribe. Thank you.
And to everyone calling me a pick-me, I'd rather be a pick me than a skip me.
Girl, you have been skipped over more times than you can count. You want to be a pick-me girl, but nobody's picking you.
Do you know why Pearl is available? Because even though she says the right things that men resonate with, she's masculine as hell. Men like feminine women. Pearl is an advocate for what men want, but she's not what men want. Feminine women do not go online and sit on podcasts and argue with men all day long. That is not what men want. Ideally, men would have someone that's very laid back, chill, feminine, helps out where she can around the house and, isn't like a pain in the ass. And I know you guys are gonna be like, well, just hire a maid. Are you guys really saying that a woman's love can be replaced by a maid? Partnership in the home is desirable, where both people help out around the house. I've been kind of messing around a little bit on here with some of my satire and stuff, but real talk, I believe both people should do both things around the home. Fully. Like, there's no reason not to. I can joke and say, yeah, I'll cook, you do the dishes, but even then, that's 50-50, no? I mean, you could argue cooking's more effort. I'll forget, I was raised by a single mother. I was doing everything around the house. She taught me how to cook, how to clean, how to do dishes, how to do laundry. I'm just saying, I do all that stuff now for myself, no problem. But ideally, in a partnership, I would have help with those things. I'm not just going to take care of someone fully. I'm not going to pay for everything and take care of everything around the home. But back to Pearl. She definitely understands what men want, but she's just masculine as hell. She really, and everything that she does, she's very masculine. She will probably find someone that's great for her, but you guys are like, why not pick her? Because we couldn't marry someone that's like that and argumentative and fighting.
So if you have no idea of what the guy was talking about, what the other lady was talking about, they are making reference to a popular pick-me girl called Pearl. She's always advocating for the red pillars, the red pill men. Yeah, she's always seeing right things in all they do to women, but when it comes to women, she's always criticizing women. Yeah, she's against feminism and all that. A man that is going to cheat on you will cheat on you. If you like, make yourself the doormat, wipe his ass, clean up for him. A man that is going to cheat on you is going to cheat on you. It's not about you. The problem is not with you, but with the man. It's the character flaw. So if you like, say all the good things, become a traditional wife, be at his beck and call. If he's going to cheat, if he has it in him to cheat, he is going to cheat on you. So I decided to talk about this video after the whole cheating stuff. All them pick-me girlies out there, don't think being overzealous is going to make your man not to cheat on you. Whoever that has cheating in his vein is still going to cheat. Pick-me girl, Pearl, why are people attacking her? That guy was asked that question. Why is Pearl still available? Why is she not being picked? It's been over a couple of years and she's still single, still going from one podcast to another to speak for men and speak against women. And we all heard what he has to say. Some people are saying that the reason why she's not being picked is because she's not pretty enough. They said that they've seen scenarios where girls that are so pretty enough say nasty things about men, but men still go after them because men are just after the looks and not what you're saying. Let's have a look at Pearl speaking against women and feminism.
And I think that the second thing that women lie to each other about, and this kind of goes to the housewife, because for whatever reason, when I have these conversations about like, what does it take to deserve to be a housewife? We can always like talk about it in the abstract, but when it comes to reality, it's like we could never be honest. And the second thing I think that we lie to each other about is just how hard women have it. I think women have it pretty easy, especially compared to men. I think you mentioned a patriarchy earlier. I don't believe in that in the slightest. I think you're given far more opportunity as a woman.
For your opinion, babe.
And I think typically the women that argue about patriarchy are usually just lazy. Feminists have asked for equal treatment for decades, yet when it is given to them, they cry about it. So no, most women are not going to have a happy ending. Feminism has lied to women, and there was an entire generation of women coping with the fact that most will be alone in the next 50 years. Yes. And the issue you get is all of these influencer women will come out saying they're so happy single. Most women are living paycheck to paycheck. They make about $35,000 a year, and a large majority are in debt. Women have so much debt. So what is going to happen to them in their old age? Women make poor decisions and keep expecting men to bail them out. But
I'm pretty sure you have a better understanding now why women are attacking Pearl. People are still wondering why she is still single and no man is dating her, why the red pillars are not going after her. Most of the guys are saying that they are happy that she's speaking for them, but they don't see her to be feminine enough. They don't think she has what it takes to be a good woman. They see her to be very combative. She's always moving from one podcast or another, arguing. They say she's too argumentative and they don't want to have a woman like that in their house. We know she says a whole lot of things about women and she's against feminism, but is she actually putting herself in that position to be those women that she's painting for those men? I don't think so. A woman that is in her femininity will not come online and be arguing the way she's constantly doing online. I don't think let's use trad women as an example. I don't think trad women will even go online on podcasts and be as loud as she is. She's always loud and always arguing. So that's a huge turn off for a lot of men that are looking for women like that. Some other people were of the opinion that the reason why the red pillars, the toxic masculine men, wouldn't go for Pearl is because she's already conquered, she's already a doormat. And I quite agree with them up to an extent, because those toxic men are after women that they see as challenges, women that they want to conquer and break down. What's the point going for someone that is already submissive, someone that has already given in? There is really no challenge there, and they view her to be that way. But in real sense, is she really that way? I don't think so. She might speak about what an ideal woman is supposed to be for the red pillars, but she is not that way. For me, she comes across as a lady that can bite off the ears of her husband if her husband does not succumb to what she's saying, because she already has an idea of how the world is supposed to be. You know what? Let's go ahead and hear what other people have to say about this conversation.
That man set out to completely humiliate Pearl, and that should be a lesson to every pick-me. If that's the treatment that a pick-me is getting in public, in front of the world, what do you think is happening to them behind closed doors even when they do get picked? He did not have to answer the videos asking why Pearl hadn't been picked. He did not have to call her masculine and go off on her. But he did, because even though she agrees with literally everything he says, he hates her. Women are told that if you just give up your power and become a pick-me, you're gonna get something even more valuable in return. But that man has shown us exactly what you get in return.
Because we couldn't marry someone that's like that and argumentative and fighting.
Imagine being the biggest female voice of the red pill movement. You say things like women shouldn't be allowed to divorce their husbands, that men should demand a DNA test at the delivery of their children. You say things like women shouldn't be allowed to vote. You say things like you shouldn't believe all assault victims. You do everything that you can to throw women under the bus for the sake of looking good in front of men, and those men go online and say stuff like this. My theory on why pick-me women rarely get picked is because they don't present themselves to be much of a challenge. A man likes to feel like he's changing a woman's mind, like he's talked her into something. And if the woman's already coming in saying, I'm submissive to you, you're better than me and all that, it's not as much fun. They'd rather take a woman who is independent and try to make that woman submissive. They'd rather take a woman who is clearly materialistic and make that woman split bills with them. But they need somebody like her so they can be able to say, no, it's not just us. Look at this woman right here. She agrees with us.
I heard somebody say once that men want a woman they can subjugate, but Pearl subjugates herself. And that's the truest thing I've ever heard.
I'm gonna be completely real and honest right now. It's not that Pearl is too masculine or argumentative. These men just think she's ugly. And I'm not trying to simplify it. In fact, I'm a big advocate of digging deeper, but the truth is, men will let you get away with a lot if they find you attractive. Prime example, I'm even more argumentative than Pearl, especially to men. They can tell me an objective fact about themselves and I'll disagree for fun. You're from LA? No, you're not. You're 6'1". 5'10" at best. You know what? Those who find me pretty don't think I'm masculine. In fact, they find me a challenge, a character to conquer. It feels gross, and I think it's pathetic. Here's my take. This whole thing proves how utterly useless it is to live for the desire and approval of men. Because you will only get male approval in one way, and it's not by agreeing with them, or chasing them, or giving them chances time and time again. It's by fitting a conventional standard of beauty. And morbidly enough, while it might make them desire you, it does not promise respect. In fact, oftentimes, it guarantees a level of dehumanization.
Do you know why Pearl is available?
There's a lot of stitches to this video and people are like thinking a little too deep into it. They're like, oh, Pearl is a woman that subjugates herself and a man wants to subjugate a woman. And that may be true subconsciously, but consciously, men can see that Pearl is ugly. She's phenotypically challenged. She does not look good in the face. It's actually hard to look at her. She's 6'2", and she looks like a member of Yo's rowing team. She's like broad and like, come on. Am I going to be the one that has to say the quiet part out loud? She's not a beautiful person. That is her lot in life. That is her lot in life. Not that she's annoying or she's a pick-me or like whatever. Capital B beauty, she does not have it. Never will. That goes back to my point that you can't politic your way into nobody's pants one way or the other. You can't call somebody a phobe or an ist or agree with somebody to the point that, you know, you're subjugating yourself and get them to want to sleep with you. Otherwise, you could just be like, oh, you don't like me? It's because you're racist, and they would drop trowel. Oh, you're a misogynist. That's why you're a homophobe. Either way, they're not sleeping with you because you don't have what they want. It never had nothing to do with politics. But that's because y'all don't live in the real world that y'all don't know that. Y'all don't like go out and meet people and have conversations. Y'all sit on this app in this little echo chamber and check your, y'all got all these long think pieces on why she's not attractive to men. She got a Kim Possible body with senior, junior shoulders. Come on, stop it.
Do you know why Pearl is available? Because even though she says the right things that men resonate,
Pearl can't get a man because she hates herself. Oop. I said what I said. Well-adjusted good men don't want to be with a woman who is deeply insecure, and that's her. RuPaul Charles once said, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? And I think that's true. The type of man she's attracting right now, the man that wants to be with her, and I'm using be with loosely, are insecure losers. They can sense when you don't respect yourself, and they'll suck you dry. But guess what? Pearl doesn't want those guys, and I don't blame her. But she needs to help herself first. She needs to put in the work. There's no way you can love yourself and continue to make the content she's making, say the things that she's saying. The grift is keeping her from loving herself and finding a good partner.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you're interested in knowing why the toxic masculine men, the red pillars, don't want the pick-me girlies, watch this video here. Thank you for watching once more. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.